All right. So it's a couple days later. Um, it's actually it's Wednesday right now. It's 11 o'clock at night. We got out of things didn't really go as planned. I'm out of orientation. As you can see, I'm in a different hotel room. This is the Red Roof Inn in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. I was over in Blairsville. I was in Blairsville, Pennsylvania. Orientation is supposed to be another 2 days. And I'm not there. I'm here. So the plans have changed. I'll give you guys a rundown on how orientation went. I ended up having a roommate at the hotel. He was cool. Actually, everybody in class was really cool, which is unusual for an orientation. We left the hotel at 8 a.m. Monday morning. The terminal is literally a mile away, maybe, if that far. And had all the usual stuff, do some paperwork, except instead of actual papers, it was on the tablet. It was on a tablet. Sorry, I got an alert. So we did the papers. Some guys went out for a drug test. We did lunch. The first day was Pizza Hut, which sucked because for the last couple of weeks I've been on pretty much on a liquid diet most of the time. I had been eating some other stuff, but I was feeling pretty healthy, trying to do things a little bit better than I had been. There you go. That's a little better. So we left orientation around 5 o'clock. Went back to the hotel. They gave us a gift card for Sheetz, the gas station, for dinner, because the restaurant next to the hotel just happens to be closed on Mondays. So that was it. I hung out in the room the rest of the night. Tuesday morning we got up. We were at the terminal this time by 8 o'clock. We did some more paperwork, had all the usual people, safety, compliance people, things like that, all come in and give their little presentations. Then we went outside. A couple of us went outside. The guys who came in with some experience went outside and did some securement training. And then we went outside and did some securement training. Then we went inside, and all the rest of the class had been doing the classroom portion of securement training so they could learn the rules. And we sat in there for the rest of that, and then went home for the day. This morning we go back in, and this is on Wednesday. We go back in and we finish securement training. Let me say also, on Tuesday was Smith System. On Monday was road tests and P test if you guys hadn't of went and did a drug test before you got to orientation. So we went back in this morning. It was the rest of the classroom training part of the securement training. We did that. Then we had lunch, which was good. Then we met with the chaplain, the company chaplain, who is a former professional baseball player for 10 years. We met with him. And then we went outside to do more securement training. They had me do, on yesterday I only did a couple of simulated coils, They're the big round metal things. I don't know what they are. They're not really coils because they're hollow. But that's what they had me working on those yesterday. Yesterday I did suicide. We simulated a slitted suicide coils. And slitted shotgun coils. And then by that time it was time to head back to the classroom. And then today they had me go in and do a shotgun coil. And then had me break down the simulated shotgun coil from yesterday so that the rest of the class could learn to do it also. When I got done with that, they pulled me aside, told me that they'd gotten a phone call about me, and they wanted to know how I was doing, how I was progressing, and they gave them a good report, a very good and frankly a flattering report for, based off of the person that this report came from. And they told me to come to the office. I went to the office. They told me to check out of the motel or the hotel and I was going to be going to Monroe, Ohio to pick up my truck. I got a ride with the safety manager for the terminals out of which I'll be working. And we came here. We came over here to Cranberry. He lives around here somewhere. So he dropped me off and he went home. And we're going to finish up the drive in the morning. And then I'll get a truck, and then I don't know what's going to happen after that. I don't know if I'm going to be at the terminal all day tomorrow, or if I'll end up getting to leave and go do something and, maybe start working my way up north towards home. I don't really live that far away from there. It's about 2.5 hours from the terminal to my house. So overall, it went really good. The orientation at this company was very, very good. I'm really happy with the way that it went. Even if I had to stay there for a couple more days, it would have been good. The the hotel accommodations were nice. It was the first time that I'd been in an orientation where I had to share a room, so that kind of sucked a little bit, but at least my roommate was cool. Everybody at the training center was really cool. They were all nice. They were informative. You could tell that all of them really cared about their job, and and the job that they're doing. And I would have been happy if I would have been happy. I mean, I wouldn't have been happy necessarily, but it wouldn't have bothered me if I had to stay there for a couple more days, finish up orientation. So it was a good experience. They they seem like a good company, from obviously from what I could tell right now. Of course, most of us, if we've been in this industry for a while, a lot of us have been fooled before. It's hard to say, looking at some of the walls inside of the training center and seeing some of the posters that they have of their drivers who are million-mile drivers, 2 million-mile, 3 million-mile, even 4 million-mile drivers. The number of those drivers based off of the company size, I think, says a lot about the company. Another thing that I really like about this company is the insurance costs. I'll say that the price that I was paying at my last carrier was $173 a week for the family plan. And this one, that wasn't for dental or vision. That was just a straight medical insurance. For this one, with dental and vision, I'll be saving about $150 a week. So that's a very big upside. And that is with a family plan, and that is with dental and vision, like I said. So that's a good point. Overall, I think that I'll be happy here. We'll just have to see what happens, and I'll be sure to let you guys know. As things progress, I want to become a little more active on here, and I'm not gonna try to recruit anybody. I don't have that many followers anyway. I'll tell you guys the truth. For 14 minutes. I'm gonna try to wrap this up. I'm not gonna try to recruit anybody. Well, I've never been the type to tell somebody to go to a company, especially when I haven't really been there. Anytime anybody's ever asked me about any of the companies that I've worked for, even while I was there, I'd always tell them the truth. I tell them the good points, I tell them the bad points, and based off of what I tell you and based off of what other drivers tell you, if you want to go work there, cool. If not, that's cool too. I really don't give a shit. And the same goes with this company. just put it out there. Okay, I work for PGT. And being the heavy coil, it's actually called the Tri-9 division. It's heavy haul coils. If you guys want to go to work there, you know, if you're planning on going to work there, you know what my name is because it's on my channel. You know what company I'm at. You could use me as a referral or whatever, okay? Or don't use me as a referral. I really don't care. But I just want to kind of document my experience, and especially in the area that I'm going into. You know, there are other flatbedders on YouTube. You can go back and look at some of the videos that I've done. Obviously, I mean, I have hauled coils before. There's coil videos on there. I want to do more on the proper securement of coils, which some of these regular flatbed guys who don't haul a lot of coils, honestly, they I don't want to say they do stuff wrong, but they do stuff in a way that isn't exactly right, you know, or, you know, the way that I feel is the right way to do it. And, you know, frankly, the way that a lot of coil haulers would feel is, you know, probably the right way to do it. And then, of course, I mean, you have the other guys out there who would throw 2 chains through and, you know, get a 48,000 pound coil, throw 2 chains through, and roll 800 miles down the road, and not even bother to, you know, to stop and check it. But that's something that I'm looking to hopefully help with. So what we'll be doing is, obviously, we're going to look at some big coils. I mean, that's part of what we're going to do. We're going to look at some big coils. Now that you guys know what company I'm going to be working for, other than I am working for, okay, I'm not going to try to hide my trailer. Okay, so we could do more on how Conestogas work. We can do some coil securement videos, you know, show you different steps, different techniques based off of what type of coil you're getting. You know, we show you how some other stuff works, you know, trip locks, you show friction pads, you know, we can show other stuff, and then we could do more equipment, you know, so there's a lot of the same equipment that I showed in one of my other videos, but there's going to be a lot of other stuff too that's going to be different. I mean, you'll still have all the basic stuff, you know, chains, binders, J-hooks, you know, your metal ledge protectors. I'm going to stop and go get all my felt pads. We got the rubber belting, you know, the friction mats, the coil racks, the dunnage, you know, all that stuff's the same. The only difference on this one is you get better trip locks, more like the trip locks that I was using at the last company that I was working at, not like the company where I had the Conestoga before. So we'll get into that. And then we'll get into some other stuff too, you know, especially now that I'm kind of gonna be going back over the road a little bit. We'll get into more. You know, maybe we'll get into some of my experiences a little bit, and maybe, who knows, maybe there's somebody out there who wants to haul coils. Or, maybe you're a flatbedder and you don't really feel comfortable hauling coils. Maybe we could help get you to a point where you do feel comfortable. Because I've met a lot of flatbedders who won't haul coils. They just won't do it because they think it's unsafe. But I'll tell you that hauling coils it is safe. I mean, it's safe if you know what you're doing. It's safe if you take your job seriously and you do things the right way. I'm not going to say that there's no danger to it, because there is. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said that there was no danger to hauling coils. But, I mean, really, you got just as much danger, hauling pipe or lumber or heavy machinery. I mean, you have just as much, I won't say just as much danger, but you do have, you still have a lot of danger if you're hauling a dry van or a reefer or other stuff. I've actually got to take this, so I am going to wrap this up. I will do another video here who knows, maybe I'll do another video tomorrow. It may be a couple of days. I may end up going home over the weekend, and I may not post anything else until next week. I may not even post anything next week either. We'll just kind of have to see how things go. Maybe let me get a little more into my job. We may end up doing something a little more basic. Yeah, like we may end up doing a truck tour or something like that. Even though I'm sure whatever truck I get, there's already 100,000 videos for it on YouTube. But it'll give me something to do. So, talk to you later.